Jealousy breeds unhappiness. Once upon a time, they say that in a certain village, long before people learned to hide their hearts behind glass screens and metal doors, lived a woman named Awel, whose soul was like still water at noon, calm on the surface, but harboring depths that the eye could not see. Awel was beautiful in the way silence is sometimes beautiful, not because it is pleasant, but because it demands something of you. Her face was the kind people stared at and then quickly looked away from, as though her eyes might reveal something about themselves they did not wish to confront. She was respected, even called clever by some, but she was not loved. All her life, she believed love was something that could be earned, the way one earns praise by being the best at something. So she cooked the sweetest soups, stitched the finest cloth, and spoke words carefully measured, like salt in stew. But in that same village lived another woman named Chanillo, who did none of those things particularly well, yet people loved her effortlessly. Chinello's smile was crooked, her voice a little too loud, her dresses plain. She laughed with her whole body and cried openly when the widows wept. Children followed her as though pulled by invisible thread. The old men greeted her first, each morning before even, acknowledging the chief's wife, including Abina. Awel could not understand it. How can they love her, she once asked herself, when she does not try? At first, it was a quiet question. Then it became a whisper. Then it became a seed buried beneath her thoughts. A seed that sprouted vines. One market day, during the festival of New Yam, Chinello was chosen to lead the opening dance. Tradition said the dancer must represent the spirit of the land, joy, fertility, and purity. Awel believed she should have been chosen. She had prepared for months, practicing each movement at dawn by the river, her feet bruised by stones that remembered her every step. Yet when Chanello danced, her movements were imperfect, but something changed in the air. Even the wind slowed. When Chinello raised her arms, palm upward, as though offering her heart to the sky, the trees seemed to bow. People cried. Some said they felt their ancestors pass through them in that moment. When the dance ended, Chinedu, the eldest man in the village, stood and said, "Today, the land has remembered us. And it is through her." He pointed not at Awel, but at Chinello. That night, as the village feasted, Awel sat alone in her hut, staring at the flame of her kerosene lamp. And something inside her shifted like a fault line in the earth. If the land remembers her, then let the land forget. Obina was tall, handsome, and strong, with eyes that seemed to understand people without them speaking. Awel had liked him quietly for 2 years. She thought if she became the most impressive woman in the village, beautiful, skilled, respected, then Obina would notice her. And then her own voice, within the glass, said,
"You can't escape your fears."
She fell backwards. At that moment, drums sounded outside. Chanello was crying loud, painful weeping. And as she cried, rain fell for the first time in months, but only on her garden. The villagers gathered, watching in awe, calling her blessed again. And for the first time, someone whispered that Awel had been quieter lately. Too quiet. The next day, Chinello came to Alvol's home. "I know," she said softly. Awel froze. "Know what?" Chinello's eyes, weak but steady, met hers. "Jealousy is loud. It speaks even when you are silent." Awel's heart thrashed. "You destroyed everything without even trying." Chinello nodded weakly. "Because I never wanted to own anything, only to share." Awel's face twisted and she screamed, "Then share your pain." At that moment, thunder cracked. The ground trembled. The sacred silk cotton tree outside split down the middle. The wind, which had been silent, spoke once more, this time so loudly that everyone in the village heard it. "The one who calls for pain shall live with pain until she releases what she holds." Awel felt something heavy press against her chest. She collapsed. From that day, Awel could not speak without feeling her throat burn. The villagers did not ostracize her, nor did they pity her. They simply watched, waiting. Chinello recovered slowly, and instead of seeking revenge, she returned to her garden, rebuilding the soil with care. After months of silence and pain, a well finally approached Chinello's garden. The flowers were blooming again, brighter, stronger, as though the earth itself had forgiven. A well knelt, hands trembling, whispering, "Chinello, teach me how to heal." Chinello looked at her quietly, her eyes soft but tired. She spoke gently, "Oh well, jealousy does not only hurt the one you envy. It eats your soul first. You must let it go, or it will consume you entirely." Awel nodded, tears streaming, but before she could speak again, Obinna appeared at the garden's edge. His eyes were sharp, full of emotion. The tension between them was like lightning waiting to strike. "Obinna, why are you here, Awel? After everything, why now?" Oval's voice shook. I was wrong. I've been consumed by envy. I tried to hurt her, because I wanted you to see me." Obinna's face hardened. He stepped closer, his shadow falling over her. His voice was low but powerful. "You think that if she weren't here, I would notice you? Love isn't given because someone disappears or because you punish another. It's given freely to those who are worthy of it. In heart, not in deeds born of envy." Oval's knees buckled. I don't know how to fix this." Obinna's eyes softened slightly, but he didn't move closer. "You fix it by changing yourself, by letting go, by becoming someone who can give, not take." The wind swirled violently that moment, as if echoing his words. Awel felt the chill in her bones, her heart pounding. The broken mirror in her hut flashed in her mind. The silk cotton tree split in two, the poisoned soil, everything her jealousy had touched. She sank to the ground. Obinna stood over her, not with anger, but as a living reminder of what she had lost, and could never demand back. "You cannot force love," he said. "You cannot buy it. You can only grow it in yourself first." Oval's tears fell onto the garden soil. She realized that even if she healed, she could never make him feel what she wanted. The love she had desired was not hers to take. Chinello, standing beside her weakly, placed a hand on Alval's shoulder. "Let the earth and the wind forgive you. Let yourself forgive you. And maybe, someday, you will find a love that belongs to you, born not from envy, but from your own heart." Awel bowed her head silent. The wind calmed. The sky, once heavy and angry, cleared. The flowers swayed gently, their colors bright like hope. For the first time in years, she felt peace, not because she had won, not because she had taken, but because she had let go. Obinna left without another word. The villagers would whisper about that moment for years. How the handsome man, the jealous woman, and the kind-hearted Chinello had all met at the edge of fate, and how the wind had chosen truth over desire. Awel remained in the garden, tending it with Chinello, learning slowly that love cannot be stolen, admiration cannot be forced, and jealousy is a fire that burns only the one who holds it.